Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the first meeting of 2025. Happy New Year. This is Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 at 4:30, and I will be the presiding officer of the Committee of the Whole Planning and Public Works while Councilmember Stewart is not with us tonight. The first item we have on the agenda is authorizing the acceptance of a $100,000 grant from the Washington Department of Commerce for activities related to promoting tourism in advance of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And I will kick it over to Deputy Director Seraphy Ellen.
Thank you, and hello, Council, and Happy New Year. We are starting the new year off on a high note. At literally the 11th hour on 2024, we received notice from Commerce that we had received this grant and needed to execute that contract of $100,000 for activities relating to promoting tourism in preparation of the World Cup by the end of the year due to their contractual obligations. And Jackie will go into a little bit more detail about what the grant will be used for, but just wanted to say thank you to the team and very excited about their ability to follow through on getting more grant money in for the World Cup because we have high hopes here in Redmond. So I am here with Jackie Layler and Philly Marsh from our Economic Development and Tourism Program team. Jackie, take it away.
Thank you. I'm very excited to share that in support of the council-approved World Cup budget offer and work plan, staff applied for and received a $100,000 grant from the Washington Department of Commerce. This grant will help fund activities related to promoting tourism in preparation of the 2026 World Cup Games. And the scope of work and deliverables support items already planned for the World Cup activations, including staffing costs, marketing and public relation efforts, and district development event activations. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge that securing this grant was a collaboration and a collaborative team effort over the holidays. Special thanks to Annika and Haritha and Philly Marsh for covering for me while I was out, and for working over the holidays to provide the necessary information and documentation to secure this grant on a very tight timeline. If approved, acceptance of this grant will move forward to the consent agenda on January 21, and I am happy to answer any questions at this time.
Any questions from council? Councilmember Nueva Camina.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. And thank you for the whole team for pitching in and covering and making sure that together we get this. It's always wonderful when we can take advantage of opportunities for grant money. Looking at this, typically I'll ask, are there any restrictions? Because sometimes there'll be restrictions upon the grant. And I know that for $100,000, I know that we'll have immediate use. However, besides the date restriction of the spend, are there any other restrictions attached to this grant?
Not really. It's ARPA funding, so that's what drives the deadline of July 1st, 2025 of expenditures. But it is funding that can be used for a list of eligible things, and what we put in the contract, staffing costs, marketing costs, those are all eligible and approved by the state.
Great, thank you.
There were stipulations and criteria to get the grant, and you had to show that you had a loss of money during COVID. So I was able to show the lodging tax decline, which was pretty significant, which helped us secure this grant.
Wonderful. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you. Any other questions from council? All right, seeing none, is everyone good with placing this on consent on January 21st to accept these funds? All right, I'm seeing 4 thumbs, including my own, so that is a majority, especially of the council members here. So we will see this on the 21st. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is 2024 Q4 Capital Investment Program status update. And I see Deputy Director Vanjie Garcia coming forward to present with her team.
Good evening, Council. Today is the pre-meeting and preparing for our study session on January 28. In your packet, there is some highlighted stats of the existing CIP and where we're at with projects. I am here with Steve Gibbs, the Capital Project Manager, and Tessa Wilkinson to answer any questions about specific projects that you'd probably like to, you may want to have more information on the 28th. Steve?
Good evening, Happy New Year. We've got our 2025 list in front of you, and we've got our regular slide deck on the update from the fourth quarter. And The only thing that's really missing is, we usually have a featured project in each functional area. And so we're just curious if there's a specific project that you'd like featured in the slide deck or a little bit more information, and then we can come back on the 28th and give you that update.
Council members, any questions? I think our materials say that you're coming back for the study session on the 14th, and you guys keep saying the 28th.
My calendar said the 28th, but we will double check on that one.
Great, thank you. Anything that council members want to have highlighted for the study session when it takes place? Council President Kritzer.
Thank you. Yeah, I think anywhere where we're seeing red, I would love to be able to hear a little update on that. In particular, I'm curious if you can give us more of an update on what's going on with the Evans Creek relocation project. Amongst the things that you can share in public, of course. And then I think on anything that has most recently been completed, that would also be great to get extra highlights on.
Thank you. Councilmember Nueva Camina.
Thank you. Doubling what Council President has requested, and also I'm interested on the Northeast 70th Street shared use path, and just getting some more information on an update with that. And I know that the things in red we're going to go over as well, so thank you.
Councilmember Fields.
Yeah, thanks. On these targeted completion for the ones that were targeted for the end of 24 and then in the first half of 25, can you give us an estimate of, a projected estimate of percentage completion and how much funding we're likely to see either under budget or over budget on those construction projects? Great, thank you.
Thank you. For myself, I'm interested in hearing a little more about the EV charging station status of those projects, and anything bike safety related, as per usual. Any other items that folks are interested in having highlighted at the study session? All right, seeing none, thank you. We will see you at that study session, either the 14th or the 28th.
Yes, we'll just clarify with Cheryl.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Council President Kritzer.
Just a follow-up on that, if it is getting moved to the 28th, then just let us know, because I think the 20th is a pretty packed study session, so I think maybe it got moved because there's a little more space.
There's definitely more room on the 14th. So
We have, every month, the CIP group meets and has that full slide deck that you received during the budget. So we have slides for each project, in the state that it currently is. And so we're taking today's input and we'll focus on the projects that we'll bring next, or whenever we come back for the study session.
thank you. Fantastic. We're moving right along to item number 3, for-hire transportation, Redmond Municipal Code Amendment and Interlocal Agreement Update. We have Chief Lowe joining us here at the tables.
Good afternoon. What you have before you is the amendment to the RMC and a renewal of the ILA with King County, which allows them to handle the for-hire regulation, which are taxi cabs, Ubers, Lyft, et cetera. They do the licensing and any follow-up, say on complaints and those types of things. Pretty straightforward.
Okay, any questions from council members? Councilmember Fields.
Are there any disputes or concerns from the people who are providing these services in Redmond about our restrictions or our accountabilities or anything that we do for them? Is there a tension there that we on council might not know about, or is it?
No, because we're not responsible for the licensing or enforcement aspect of it, so we really don't have much to do with it other than the fact that we are a municipality, and in order for them to operate here, they have to have the license from the county. So the county really is responsible for, all aspects of it. We're just kind of, if you want to call it a pass-through or...
We just happen to be here.
Right. In order for them to operate within the city, it requires the ILA, but it's
Gotcha.
a county thing.
All right, I see. Thanks.
Councilmember Anderson.
Thank you. I was just curious if part of the agreement could be amended in the future to allow us to understand how to track carbon footprint from that service. I know this came up maybe a couple years ago as an opportunity. Since those services are independent contractors, is there a reporting mechanism to the county, and could we ask about that?
Yes, I'll have my staff follow up on that or make a note, and we'll follow up with somebody from the county.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. My question, I think, kind of was addressed by Councilmember Fields' question. I was just interested in the implications for gig workers on this, and I think I heard you say that it's the same as at the county level. Is that correct?
Correct. This is completely at the county level. Like I said, we're involved because in order for them to operate within the city of Redmond, we have to enter into the ILA.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any objection to placing this item on consent on January 21? Great. We will see this item on consent on the 21st. Thank you, Chief Lowe. And I think you're remaining with us for item number 4, King County Cost Reimbursement Agreement for Monitoring and Verifying Registered Sex Offenders.
Yes, so this allows us to seek reimbursement from King County or from the King County Sheriff's Department up to $4,900 for costs associated with fulfilling the requirements of the RCA for verification of addresses for registered sex offenders here in the city of Redmond.
Any questions on this item for Chief Lowe? Councilmember Nueva Camina.
Thank you. Not a question, Chief, but just a comment and more for us and the listening public. Just stressing the importance of having local interaction and visibility. There's a great power that happens with accountability inside of community. And when we're able to do the verifications at the local level, how important that is. That we're involved here. So just grateful that we are that we do this and that we've got the involvement. So thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Fields.
$4,961. That's is that what I extrapolate from that we don't have that many people under this program here, or is it really minimal effort on law enforcement to maintain this? I mean, that just doesn't seem like a lot of money.
Yes, and both. So fortunately, we don't have a significant number of registered sex offenders in Redmond. The other part is operationally, we tend to do it as part of our normal course of work, so we don't incur a lot of overtime expense around it. But if we were to incur any expenses up to that $4,900, we would be able to seek reimbursement from the county.
So and then I'm going to echo Councilmember Nueva Camina. I appreciate the fact that we have that work embedded in the work that you do already, and that this is just sounds like additional costs that you wouldn't have experienced if you didn't have certain criteria or accountability with the county. Is that correct?
Yes, like I said, it allows us the ability to seek reimbursement should we incur those costs, but it is important, to me as a chief, to us as an organization, that it is embedded just in our normal work. So we typically tend to do it, on straight time as part of our normal work.
Thank you.
Councilmember Anderson.
This seems like a small amount, and I'm kind of curious why it's coming to council. So the other piece of this would be, do you have the authority in your role to do this in the future without council approval? What do we need to do that?
Yeah, it's coming to you because it's an agreement with another governmental agency, so therefore I have to get authority from you guys. More than happy to do it on my own, but these are the rules.
Don't we have thresholds for that in terms of dollar value?
No, because as I understand it, it's because it's an agreement between the city and another governmental entity, so council has to authorize that.
And how long have we had that in place?
for the 6 years I've been here at least, so.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And for my own part, I would just echo the thanks that have been put out there on this topic and in this arena in general. I know that your department does an outstanding job in this field of work, and it is very difficult and challenging work. So just want to share my gratitude with you and your department for this line of protecting our community.
Thank you.
With that, is everyone okay with placing this item on consent on January 21st? Yes, yes. Seeing all positive things. So we will see this back on the 21st. Thank you, Chief Lowe. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there anything for the good of the order on this first committee of the whole meeting of the year? Seeing none, I will adjourn this meeting. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you at 7 o'clock.